M&S Food sponsors Tom Kerridge Cooks Spain. Says Tom Kerridge. As he cooks with M&S Food in Spain. I'm back on the road.
Let's go!
And this time, me and my van are in the food lovers' paradise of Spain.
Mi nombre es Tom.
Mi nombre es Tom.
To meet my kindred spirits. People as passionate about producing ingredients
This could be a marriage made in heaven.
as I am about cooking them.
Sweet, it's crunchy, it's delicious.
I'll discover traditions,
Oh, wow. You're walking through history.
obsessions,
That is one of the strongest things I've ever put in my mouth.
and innovations.
This is like a game of Pac-Man.
I'll get stuck in
No, okay, no.
I'm going the wrong way.
Other way.
experience the food culture,
It's like the Spanish fishing port equivalent of bacon.
and show you how to turn Spain's produce into mouth-watering dishes.
I have finished, so I...
Yeah, this one.
Oui, oui, oui.
You can keep in Spain.
I can keep in Spain.
My journey through Spain has brought me to one of its most remote regions. And it's an extraordinary place. Look at that. We're right in the middle of nowhere. I think the thing that's blowing my mind the most is how often do you end up in a place where the countryside and the landscape is so sparse, there's not even like a single hut or farm, and it goes on for miles and miles and miles. I'm in Extremadura, a western region of Spain, whose name literally means extreme and hard. It's one of the most sparsely populated places in the country. It's hot and it's dry.
Now, it's hard to imagine as this van is trudging up this hill, this pretty harsh landscape, but there's much going on in the way of produce.
But at the top of this hill, there's an unexpected surprise. Water, and lots of it. This is Lake Orellana, which stretches over 50 square kilometres. And where there's water, there's life. And I'm on the lookout for one species in particular.
Crayfish. Now, it's a freshwater prawn is probably the best way of describing it. They're like mini lobsters. The great thing about crayfish is they're super meaty, wonderful texture, and if you treat them the same way as you treat prawns, you'll end up with an amazing dish.
Spain is one of Europe's major producers and exporters of crayfish, and this lake is said to produce around a quarter of the country's supply. So to find out what it's like catching them for shops like M&S, I'm meeting crayfish supplier Nicholas Rue.
Hey there, Nicholas.
Hello.
I'm Tom.
Hello, Tom. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Now, this is not what I was expecting. As I was driving through, it was kind of like some moon-like landscape, and then I came over and saw this amazing lake.
Oh, well, that's a land-made reservoir, actually. It was finished in the early 60s, and that filled this whole valley full of water. That's what you see here now. It's also blue flag. That means it's a very, very clean water.
Something the crayfish love, and the temperature in this area makes it a great spot for fishing because the water gets warm enough to bring the crayfish out of hibernation and scurrying around on the lake bed. To catch them, I'm heading out on the water with Nicholas and pescador Antonio Pastor, who's been fishing here for more than 2 decades.
So the crayfish that we're looking at catching today, Nicholas, where did they actually come from? If this is a man-made lake, how did they actually get here?
Well, they were introduced in the 70s in order to foster rural development, to allow for fishing as an extra income for the people here.
Are we going to catch crayfish today? Lots of them. I've caught crayfish before. They're very violent. Hey, you've still got all your fingers, which is a good sign.
And it doesn't hurt to have a few tokens of good luck.
I've got the magic socks on.
These are the special crayfish socks.
With a bit of luck, we're good.
I'm going to need to get myself a pair of them.
The socks seem to be working for Nicholas already.
I think I sat in the wrong place. There's an uneven balance in the boat, which means that I'm just getting sprayed with water whilst Nicholas is staying nice and dry.
We're heading to Antonio's crayfish pots, which sit 8 meters below the surface on the lake bed and are marked by buoys.
Para empezar a sacar las nasas.
The crayfish are caught in traps, like lobster pots.
Look at those guys. Look at those. It's good? It's a nice amount?
Sí, está bien.
How does the pot work?
Pues se la mete el cebo, el cangrejo entra por aquí y luego no encuentra salida.
All
Once
right.
they're in, they don't come out.
Once they're in, they don't come out. Look at the size of his claws. I mean, that got hold of my finger. Ooh, ha ha! Nearly, mate. That would proper hurt. We gonna go find another one?
Sí, vamos a por otra.
Okay, let's
A ver qué
go.
tal.
Despite originating in Louisiana, the crayfish are now established in the reservoir's ecosystem. But as an invasive species, they need to be kept in check. Fishing helps control their numbers, and each fisherman can set up to 200 pots, which they check every day.
Crayfish pot coming up. Let's see if it's a winner. It's gonna be a good one. I
Esta
can
está
see-
más
it's
honda.
heavy, it's heavy.
Está más honda.
Oh,
buena.
yes! Look at that!
Buena.
Look at all of those.
1 kilo, más o menos.
I think that's quite a good one. It's okay. It's
Esta
nice.
está buena.
That's
That-
very good.
Is the universal sign for okay. Let's get that kilo of crayfish in there.
Pues bueno, esto ahora los tapamos bien tapaditos con un trapo mojado para que lleguen húmedos.
The empty pots are rebaited with fish scraps. On the menu today is mackerel.
So the bait, I've got to be honest, stinks. Like it's got a smell on it. I wouldn't eat that.
Sí, sí, es cierto, sí. Nuestra mujer no se quiere arrimar cuando llegamos a casa. Hasta que no nos duchamos, no.
Luckily, what's unappetizing for us is irresistible to crayfish.
And off it goes. You'll see that tomorrow. Full of crayfish, another kilo tomorrow.
Buena.
Catching crayfish in such a beautiful and extreme setting has been epic. So I want to knock up an old favourite that celebrates this shellfish and works a treat in this kind of heat.
Classic dishes, classic for a reason, and they really are a celebration of wonderful ingredients treated simply.
I'm using the cooked tail meat for a dish that's been loved for decades, but one where taking the time to get the details right will elevate it to a whole new level.
I'm starting off with some texture and flavour from croutons. Now I've got here some sourdough bread that's a little old and stale. Just take the crusts off and then cut them into cubes of around about centimetre and a half. And then in a frying pan, just put a little bit of oil and a couple of cubes butter. Once that butter's melted, drop in the croutons and let them begin to gently fry. Now whilst that is frying, just get myself a clove of garlic. I'm going to grate it. Now this is going to go into those croutons at the end. Once the croutons start browning, I'm going to add the rest of the butter, and you can see the pan is really nice and hot. You don't want it too cold, because otherwise those crispy croutons will start going soggy and absorbing the butter. And just at the point as the croutons beginning to brown nicely and evenly, you're just going to drop the garlic in.
Stir it through and add a good pinch of salt and some sweet smoked paprika. Once the croutons are done, drain on some kitchen roll to crisp up.
Now a crayfish salad needs a cocktail sauce. Start off with good quality mayonnaise, then the tomato ketchup, give it a good mix, and then you can start adding your different bits of flavours, things that make it come to life, with a small splash of brandy, squeeze of lemon juice for acidity, good pinch of salt, some sweet smoked paprika, Worcester sauce, a few splashes, and also some hot chilli sauce. So essentially, we have the classic Mary Rose sauce, but we've added quite a few little extra flavour profiles that just drive it further forward. All of them work beautifully with crayfish tails. So a good cocktail salad obviously needs some salad.
Take a gem lettuce, Save a few outer leaves for later and slice up the rest. For a bit of texture, chop celery.
And the last thing to go with the salad, some ripe avocado.
Time to put it all together. Lettuce first, half an avocado, then come the crayfish tails.
Do not be shy with these guys, okay? This, what it's all about. And get your cocktail dressing sauce, your Mary Rose, just better. And drizzle all over the crayfish tails. Some of the crispy, crunchy celery dice. Sprinkle them on the top. And then the garlicky croutons.
Serve with some chopped parsley and a wedge of lemon. Now let's see if my fishing crew think I've done their produce justice.
How we doing, gents?
Hey!
Come on in, come on in, come on in. Antonio, Antonio, thank you so much. Come on, grab something to eat.
Vamos, pero está muy bien, muy rica.
¿Lo volverías a hacer?
Sí,
But I'll give you the recipe if you take me fishing again.
eso está hecho, cuando tú quieras.
Cambio de sabores, esto que la ha mezclado está bien.
Does it still celebrate their crayfish, though?
It does,
Okay.
especially with the brandy.
With the...
Coming up,
Wow.
I get an introduction to melon harvesting Spanish style
They're passing them around like rugby balls.
and make a refreshing treat to cool off after a hard day's work.
Here we go. Are you ready for some melon granita?
Muy bueno.
M&S Crayfish Tails sponsor Tom Kerridge Cooks Spain, says Tom Kerridge, as he cooks with M&S Crayfish Tails in Spain. M&S Melons sponsor Tom Kerridge Cooks Spain, says Tom Kerridge, as he cooks with M&S Melons in Spain.
My Spanish road trip to meet producers who are obsessive about every detail is taking me east on the longest leg of my journey yet. From the intense heat of Extremadura to the cooler and more fertile region of Murcia, a part of the country that has been attracting us Brits as tourists for 50 years.
Now, if you think back to when people started going on package holidays and we started falling back in love with European food, and then we started taking those food ideas back to the UK, and one of them was a starter. And it's a type of cured ham, whether it's Parma or Serrano ham and melon. And I love that.
Spain is Europe's top melon producer, and despite its small size, Murcia grows over half of them, with production covering the equivalent of over 11,000 football pitches. So to understand what it takes to provide a continent with fruit, I've come to Fruca, a family-run farm that produces around 11.5 million melons a year for supermarkets like M&S. And in charge of that colossal sum is expat Shelley, who's been living in Spain since she was a child.
Hello there.
Hello,
Nice to see you. I'm Tom.
Shelley. Welcome to Fruca.
Oh, I've just nearly tripped over that melon.
Not just any melon, it's a PDS melon.
PDS?
Piel de sapo,
Piel de Sapo. What does that mean?
toad skin.
A toad skin melon.
Toad skin melon.
It's the Piel de Sapo, which sounds beautiful, like if you can't speak
If you
Spanish.
don't know what it means.
While for us, it might not have the name recognition of a cantaloupe or watermelon, the Piel de Sapo is one of the most widely consumed melon varieties in Spain.
The way we eat them, the whole family will get together, the hot summer nights, we can just sit around and eat melons. If we go to a party or anything, we'll have a melon.
See, in the UK, we normally take 6-pack of beer.
Yeah, that's good as well.
These melons take around 2 months to mature. As each field is planted at a slightly different time, production can last for up to 6 weeks. And today's job is to test if this field is ready for a first harvest.
You hear that?
I heard that.
That's
You just
good
like
for
put the knife in and
yeah,
it's hot, ready.
That means it's full of water and it should be really ripe. Opening.
Wow. Oh, look at that different contrast in colour. You can see it's rich, full of juice. So what's the test?
It's called a panometer.
A panometer.
Yeah.
Okay, and that tested it's ready to go?
Yeah.
And how did you do it? So I stick
Just
this in.
Stab it into the flesh.
To be juicy enough for picking, the pressure needs to be over 2.5.
We've got 3.5. which is perfect for export.
So the pressure on that is good.
Good.
The colour looks amazing. Now it's got a hole in. Someone's going to have to taste it to see if it's okay, aren't they? When you bite, there's crunch, there's texture. There's a whole new level of like sunshine sweetness.
With the test and flavour coming back positive, Shelley's team of pickers can swing into action with an extra worker for the day.
I absolutely love high vis. If I hadn't been a chef, I reckon I could have rocked one of these.
Helping us out is this mega purpose-built rig, a series of conveyor belts that carry the melons up onto a mobile packing area. We've just got to locate them in the thick vegetation first.
Now I've got to find my melons.
But despite their size, they're not easy to spot.
And it's amazing. You've got to like dig right deep down in them to find them because they are properly hidden. How much fruit do we get from each plant?
3 to 4 melons per plant. This is the first harvest, and then we can harvest another 3, maybe 4 times on the same field.
I can see one. It's a good one. And then gently onto there. See there, bub?
Even though the field is producing fruit, we can't just pick every melon. Pickers have to train their eyes to seek out that special toad skin texture.
So you can see that this one is not right, but this one, all those white lines have come through. That kind of cracked skin is more like a toad skin.
I love being part of a team. Whether it's in the kitchen or out in the field, as melons get passed from picker to picker in what's starting to feel less like farming and more like a game I know.
They're passing them around like rugby balls.
Look like you're enjoying yourself.
Quite therapeutic. Whoa, whoa! Nearly hit him in the face.
It's a tough day's work in the heat, so I've swiped a ripe melon to make a refreshing snack.
I want to create something that absolutely celebrates the best thing about this melon, that juicy, refreshing flavour that you get. So I'm going to make a granita.
A granita is a semi-frozen dessert, like a fancy slushie, that I'm serving with ginger sugar cookies for a bit of extra crunch.
Now, a granita, unlike an ice cream, is frozen using syrup. And granitas, you don't need an ice cream machine. You can just kind of set it in your freezer, but it's a really lovely way of making a refreshing frozen dessert. I'm going to start off by making the syrup. Now, this is water just into a pan. And obviously, every syrup needs sugar. So I'm just going to whisk together the sugar into the water on a really, really low heat. Just want that sugar to dissolve. Now, into that, I'm going to add the juice of 1 lemon. A handful of 2 different types of herbs. Some basil. Basil is amazing when you use it in desserts. A mint, it goes so nicely with melon. Roughly chop the herbs up. They go into the syrup. And then the next thing that goes into that is our melon. Such a great sound, that. It's kind of like a sense of relief that the melon's going, God, thank God for that. All that juice can come out now.
Remove the seeds and cut the flesh from the outer skin.
I'm going to chop this melon up quite small and stick it in the syrupy pan with the herbs.
Then blend it all together until it's almost smooth with a bit of texture. Remove the fluffy bubbles from the top, which you don't need. Pour the melony syrup mixture into a container, put on a lid and put it in the freezer for around 4 hours. But don't forget about it. You're going to be checking up on it every hour to break up the crystals and make sure it doesn't freeze solid.
All right, to go with my melon granita, I want a bit of contrast. I want something else. I want a bit of crunch. I want texture. So I'm going to make a biscuit. Well, actually, I'm going to make a cookie. I love cookies. I love that kind of crisper outer shell, softer, gooier centre, and it will work so well with that lovely freshness of the melon if you put a bit of spice into it. Plain flour. Into that, I'm going to put the grated zest of 1 lemon. Next in, the spices. Half a teaspoon of mixed spice. 1 teaspoon ground ginger, 1 teaspoon bicarbonate soda, some soft dark brown sugar, some golden caster sugar, and mix it together and kind of form a well in the middle. And then in a pan, I'm going to melt some butter and golden syrup together. Once that syrup and the butter is melted together, I'm just going to pour that into the middle of our flour and spice mix.
Slowly fold it all together to form a soft cookie dough. Roll it into a sausage shape, divide into 8 equal pieces and roll them into balls.
And I've got here a little tray of sugar, and I'm just gonna give a light coating on top of the cookie dough and give it just a slight squish.
On a baking tray lined with grease-proof paper, pop these into the oven at 170 degrees for about 12 minutes. Time for the first check and gentle stir of the granita.
And you just fold it over, just break it up just a little bit so it keeps almost like slushy texture, just so it doesn't freeze in one solid block.
Once the granita has had 4 hours and you're happy with its consistency, it's time to serve up.
You ready for some melon granita? In the bottom of these glasses, put some strawberries. Have a bit of it with a cookie. Go on, don't be shy. We don't want it to melt.
La frescura que tiene. Muy
Yeah.
bueno.
La menta con la fresa y el melón, por supuesto. Muy, muy bien. Muy bien.
And the melon, of course, yeah. You like the cookie?
I love a cookie.
No, love a cookie.
I love a cookie.
Whether it's in the hot, dry and seemingly inhospitable region of Extremadura or the verdant, lush plains of Murcia, there's an abundance of ingredients being produced with passion and obsession
Look at those guys!
in every corner of Spain.
Wow.
And that makes a chef like me very happy indeed. Kerridge Cooks Spain, sponsored by M&S Food.